ladies and gentlemen, hello there and welcome. Welcome to a special Saturday night edition of the Mr. Warren Hayes Show. And as you can tell here this evening, I am not alone because on such a special occasion, you can't hang out alone doing nothing, doing these great things all by yourself. No, au contraire, mon frère. Tonight, we are going to be live watching together, the AWA Battle of the Breakfast Cereal. And as any good watch-along, a good watch-along happens with a friend, with a pal, someone that you can sit around with and watch together and enjoy the proceedings. And in this case, here this evening, it is none other than my pal, Jonathan Pilquist, JPQ, Big Paws on a Pup, from the No Particular Angle podcast. John, how are you doing?
I am doing well, man. I appreciate you bringing me on for this.
Let's just get this out of the way right now, because I honestly do not want to take credit for this. John actually wrote me one day and said, we should definitely do a live watch along of this. And I was like, yes, absolutely. Yes, this is such a good idea. So yeah, and then we sort of agreed we'd do it on my show. Look, I mean, it's not, I don't want to take credit for this, but John, hi. Hi, John.
Well, you're right in the sense that, yes, this was a hidden gem that I found on Hidden Gems on the WWE Network. So if you want to watch along and you're a subscriber to the WWE Network, get over there now, Hidden Gems, type in the Battle of Breakfast Cereal, and you too can be a part of the greatness that is this special event by the AWA and the Kellogg's brand. But yes, when we were first talking about this, it was one of those things where it was like a Thursday night, and I'm sitting down and I find this little morsel, right, if you will, of cereal goodness, and nobody else came to mind that I would want to do a watch along with, other than Mr. Warren Hayes or Mr. Warrensworth Hayes, as he likes to be called.
It's my full Christian name.
It's your Christian name.
Yes,
and I was glad that he was on board for it. So we thought, hey, if we're gonna do it, let's do it on a live stream. Let's have the people be a part of this. Yeah. So go to your favorite sugary cereal snack, grab some milk, put it in a bowl together, and sit down and enjoy a good hour or so of this greatness from the AWA, because it is quite the treat.
Absolutely. And just to clear it up, we're not going to be broadcasting this. Like, you're not going to see it on stream here. Otherwise, WWE is just going to come down on us with the full fury of Vince McMahon's laser eyes. We are instead, what we're inviting you to do is to head on over to the WWE Network, because you definitely have a subscription, don't you? You go into the Hidden Gems section. You go into In-Ring, Hidden Gems, or you can just use the search bar as well. Look for Battle of Breakfast Cereal. We're going to talk a little bit. We're going to leave you guys the time to head on over there and queue it up. Queue it up at triple, quadruple, the 3 times the 0. 0 minutes, 0 seconds, 0 hundredths of a second. Cue it up there. There's no PG rating at the start of it, unlike a lot of WWE programming. There's no warnings. There's nothing. They just dive right into that one. Just go right in. And so take your time to do that. And like John said, grab yourself a bowl of cereal. This is what look. John has cereal. I have a selection, a variety here. And John has his pretty bowl. It's blue. That quite the coincidence. I have a bluish bowl as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, look at that.
Oh, fun.
Little design. Oh, you're already checking into it. That's fantastic. No, that's fine. I'll talk there. You don't talk with your mouth full. That's not very elegant. No, that's fine. But in the meantime, what I would like to do is say hello to everyone who's joining us live here in the chat. We've got fantastic people as usual here on the Mr. Warren Hayes Show, such as Kristen Ashley, who is, of course, an amazing person. We have Carlos that's here. I do believe Sean Ross Sapp is in here, being very, very snippy at the fact that you get to watch the Serial Battle Royal, not Battle Royal, but show with me, but he's complaining that he got to watch AEW Super Clash 3 with me. I think yeah, he's going to carry that one. That's a grudge I'm going to have to try and settle at some point. Robert Larry is here as well. So listen, John, while everyone
Yes.
gets set up with the network and so on and so forth, why don't you AWA Super Clash? No one had heard, not just Super Clash. Excuse me. See, I'm all confused now. AWA Battle of the Breakfast Cereal or Breakfast Cereal Battle. What's it called? Battle of Breakfast Cereal. No one had heard about it really until it
Right.
suddenly popped up from the vault. That it appeared as a hidden gem. It's a weird one for sure. What's it all about?
Right. And so you'll see a little bit of this as you watch through the crowd over the course of the next hour. But really, what it was is Kellogg's back in '89 reached out to AWA and said, "Hey, we're having a sales meeting, a nice get together corporate sales meeting over at the Hyatt in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and we would like your talent to come perform for us as part of an event or as one event at this sales meeting. So if you have some talent, can you send them our way?" And AWA, being the money grabbers that they are, said no problem. And so you might see wrestlers that may have played a certain gimmick in AWA, but they're not going to be playing the same gimmick tonight. No, 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 no. Whether it be Wahoo McDaniel or Paul Diamond, these legends of the game, so to speak, are going to be in their breakfast best. To put on quite the show for these salesmen and women, these salespeople of the Minneapolis, Minnesota region of Kellogg's. So we hope that you get good enjoyment out of this, because when I think of wrestling back in the day, and I think of these little shows that would pop up from time to time, and what it meant to be a territory, these are the types of things that I remember.
All right.
Right, in my where I come from, it was Six Flags up in Allentown, Pennsylvania, would always have some local wrestling show once every Saturday. Right, this is something that they stole from Jim Cornette in the Memphis territories that they brought to my Six Flags as well. So when I see things like this, it's just nostalgia from my childhood. So I'm excited for this 1989 rendition of the Battle of the
I'm
Breakfast
so
Cereals.
excited because these corporate meetings, these retreats, where then they force these events to try and create like some get the troops psyched because they were at war with General Mills, right? I mean, that's the thing.
Yes.
Kellogg's wasn't having nothing of General Mills at the time. And at the time, this was shot on May 1st, 1989, and was from the Hyatt Hotel in Minneapolis, Minnesota. It wasn't even at an arena proper. This is going to be something else. I'm going in blind on this. I haven't watched a thing outside of just looking at the card, who's going to be on it and stuff. So if I'm thinking maybe I should start with the bowl of golden grams to kick off the proceedings.
I think that was an early request from your fan base that they would hope that Golden Grams was to make an
Well, there you,
appearance. So I think that's a
I
smart one to
think it's a
start
good
with.
one to start off with anyway. And you see,
Yeah. Yeah, I
and you see
have
here,
I have kid
at the same
tested,
time.
mother approved
Oh
kits.
yes, well, Kix is a fantastic choice. And you see what we can do here as well is we can have a French lesson because on the back
Ooh.
we have croque gramme doré. See, golden grams crunch, croque gramme doré.
It doesn't sound. It sounds more usually French things sound more appetizing than English things. In this instance, I think we win this one.
But at the same time, I'm going croque gramme doré.
Yeah, right, exactly. It's hard in the morning until you get your voice to
Exactly.
you.
All right, everybody. Hopefully you have the network queued up, that you're ready to go for this. John, I'm going to count this down. Well, why don't you count it down, and then we'll on go. We'll start. So 3, 2, 1,
Yeah.
go, kind of thing.
Yep, that's
All
the way
right.
to do it. So 3, 2, 1, go.
In your space.
In your space.
Oh, is there a trophy?
Oh yeah, yeah. This is a whole event. I mean, they committed to this whole thing, which I really enjoy. So we get a little or spangled banner to start. Again, like it's just every show, wrestling event. Again, back then used to start with the Star Spangled Banner. So the fact that they're committing to it to this level, again, just hats off to them.
Well, she's not bad.
No,
That's lovely. Very acceptable. Well, that's fantastic. You know, Golden Grams here.
mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not to disrespect the American national anthem, right? But I mean, you've heard it once, you've heard it 1,000 times. That being said, you know, the Golden Grams. I love Golden Grams. Like it is legitimately one of my go-tos. But the problem is, if they could tweak the formula so that Golden Grams could stay crunchier in milk a little longer, I think it'd be perfect because it's so sweet. You sort of don't want to wolf it down. You want to take your time and enjoy it, the crunch, you know. But then it gets soggy really quickly. And
You don't subscribe to the milk first, then the cereal
oh God,
to save
no.
on the crispiness.
That's no.
All right,
And what
all
now?
right.
You're going to tell me next that you put the toilet paper under, you let it run under, not over?
No, I'm not saying that I do that. I'm just asking you a question, pal. I mean, we're learning each other while we do this.
Fair enough. I can tell this is a touchy subject. We'll move along.
You passed.
Sounds like there's a lot of dudes in the audience.
Mm-hmm.
Then the in your space. Why in your space? Is there something I'm missing, John? Something that is
Not not that I've ever seen before. I purposely went back and looked for in your space. There's nothing that on from an AWA that I've found to say that this is a
okay.
legitimate thing that they did for a while.
Sean Ross Sapp in the chat doesn't understand how putting the cereal over the milk saves on crispness. He doesn't understand that either. So it's good to know.
I mean, it's when so okay. So I mean, let's just talk
Wait,
about it.
sorry. There's actually a sign that says "bad guys."
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yes.
That's my penis.
We got to know which one to come out of for sure.
That's hilarious. I and that's the actual logo that they're using on his robe there. That's
Oh yeah.
that's
Yeah.
that's ballsy. You couldn't get away with
Yep.
that today. That'd be all over YouTube. Are you kidding me? There'd be apologies and lawyer cease and desist.
Yep. Total terrible in the ring. He looks great. And it's a good investment from AWA. I would imagine that the Kellogg's team had to pay for all this. As he begins, as they walk to the ring. They're so good.
Who is that? Oh, they're just introducing the wrestlers.
Mm-hmm.
That's Wayne Bloom.
It is Wayne Bloom,
And
otherwise known as Hondo the Honeybee Haymaker.
because of Cheerios, Honey Nut
Honey
Cheerios.
Nut Cheerios.
My God. Mr. Opportunity?
Mr. Opportunity. Yep.
I don't get it. The general.
Remember
The
Honey
who?
O's? Remember O's? They're like they're honey flavored. Little they look like Cheerios with a couple nuts in the middle.
That's what he's supposed to be?
No,
That's the cereal he's
I would
representing?
imagine.
As
I
it
would believe
stands right
so.
now, I find they're doing a better job with the heels getting us to understand what cereals they're representing.
Kellogg's isn't marketing
No, no,
themselves
no. They're
very
doing a
well.
much better job for the General Mills people.
Hmm. I think that's something they learned coming out of this event.
The General. General De Beers. Oh,
Hmm.
all right. So the General, leader of the Mills team, plus on top of that, he's pro apartheid. There's nothing to like
Yep.
about this guy.
I think they're throwing cereal at him as
I've
he walks to
noticed
the
that
ring.
all the guys in the audience, they all have these sweet red Kellogg's bombers, though.
Yeah, I want one of those. I tried to buy one of those online. I might
And you
have
weren't
to get it made.
successful?
No, no. Surprisingly enough, Kellogg's has stopped making sweet '80s jackets. For some reason I don't understand.
General, he just elbow dropped a box of cereal. He got his heat.
He means business. A lot of wasted food back in the late '80s.
Who the hell is this? Oh, it's Wahoo. Jeez, okay. I could barely. Okay. It's Wahoo McDaniel. He's like, "Hi, look at all that wasted food." Oh my God. Hope these guys got a decent paycheck for this.
No, they didn't.
No, no, no.
Vern made out like
Oh,
a bandit,
sure.
but the rest of them,
And Greg probably.
yeah. Wahoo McDaniel playing the part of Dr. K in honor of co-founder Dr. John Harvey Kellogg.
There you go.
It's a big spot to be in, and rightfully
Yeah,
deserved, might I add.
sure. As far as being the stalwart. And there's
Mhm.
Pat Tanaka and Paul Diamond. That's hilarious. And they've got their boxes of cereal. And they're like, it looks like they don't know what to do with them exactly. They're like, hey, you guys. Okay, so this is like Kellogg's cereal that they're stopping. I love this.
Yeah, this is the General Mills gang, the Mills brothers.
Oh, you can tell they're a gang because they're wearing leather. Right.
That's right. I was told, Warren, that because of this event, this is why people in Japan started using streamers. It was after what they saw, what they were doing with
Really?
cereal. Yeah, they said, you know what? Well, let's take it up a notch and let's get streamers involved.
Look, that's fantastic. It's crazy. Cross culture, right? Influencing overseas like that. Fantastic. Wrestling is great. And this is Greg, obviously, with I can't quite see well.
That's
Oh,
Tom
it's Tom
Zank.
Zank. Okay.
Yep. Their name was Sales and Marketing, or S&M for short.
Wait, the name of the team? The
Yep.
name of the team was Sales and Marketing?
Yep. I think you're missing it there. S&M for short.
No, I know.
You stay with the
Yes.
long because the short is so bad. So in the ring now, Obviously, because it's a corporate event, you can't just have fun, right? You got to have a little business mixed
Okay.
in there. And in this instance, we have the enthusiasm of the, I believe this to be the CEO of Kellogg Cereal, and he's in there to give a little powwow to all the salespeople.
Oh, okay.
I was
So he's gonna give him a pep talk.
He's gonna give a little pep talk, a little motivational speaker, talking about General Mills' devious marketing
Oh, yeah, look.
tactics and how Kellogg's will crush them. Um, he's pretty much cutting a promo
On the up
on General
on.
Mills.
So
Oh,
basically, he's Kenny Omega.
he could be. What cracks me up about this, and again, I mean, for the people that are listening, he's holding a box of Honey Nut Cheerios, talking about how nobody wants to buy Honey Nut Cheerios because they're dreck. But at the same time, he then begins to hold up his cereal of choice, which is the Kellogg's branded Nut and Honey Crunch O's.
Right, which was so much more successful.
It's not the same cereal at all. God, these people are the greatest. Like I'm not. I love my job, Warren. You and I have talked plenty about my career choices, but if I could be the guy that goes into any type of corporate setting and does motivational speakers before a themed wrestling
Sure.
show, I would be
Sure.
that guy. I would be that. I would shave for that.
Oh. Oh, okay. So they're gonna move into General Mills space. They tried to get into horn in on Kellogg's racket.
Yep. Get out of here.
I hope someone pile drives a box of cereal before the end of the show.
I fully expected Kane to come out and Pete Rose this dude at some point.
Yeah. There you go.
He just tosses it in the crowd.
Oh,
You work here.
I had a bit of a problem with their marketing. It's like nut and honey oats. What do they call it? Crunch nut honey oats?
Nut and Honey Crunch
O's.
O's.
Like it doesn't quite roll off the tongue. A Nutri-Grain raisin bran. It's kind of it's not very sexy.
No, not the greatest. Um,
I think I'm moving on to Cookie Crisp.
ooh.
They changed the mascot for Cookie Crisp. I don't know if it's the same thing everywhere, but now the mascot is like a wolf. I remember it being like the Cookie Cop and the Cookie Crook. Remember
Yeah,
that?
that's definitely who it was.
Not a werewolf or a wolf or whatever. Kristen Ashley in the chat. John is she's a little scandalized, scandaled. Anyway, yeah, that you're eating kicks like an animal. She says.
I don't know. I mean, I thought I've been rather, you know, I think I've been doing a good job with my pacing of my cereal. I don't know if ravenous or animalistic is a
Well,
fair
I
representation.
think she means the fact that your choice is animalistic, not necessarily how you're actually approaching consuming the meal stuff. Actually, I think it's more like a proper human being wouldn't choose kick cereal. I think is
Look, I like recommendations, and kid tested, mother or parent approved is again, it's a strong
Did they
selling point.
change it to be inclusive of both parents? Yeah.
Yep, see? So that right there, parent approved.
Look at that.
Yep. Yep.
It's very interesting. Folks, if you're just jumping in, joining us, we are at 15 minutes and 52 seconds at the Battle of Breakfast Cereal that you can find on the WWE Network. We have some dude from Kellogg's giving the sales and marketing staff a pep talk. And I'm kind of excited for it to move on now.
Yeah, it's very what I enjoy about the guy is the fact that he's punting cereal.
Yeah.
You know, it's not every day that we get a Snitsky-like kick out of the ring, and that dude just put it right through the uprights. And I was happy to see that. I want one of those shirts, by the way. Like I would love a jacket, but that seems hard to come by. But I feel like, Warren, that we know enough people between us to where we can get these Kellogg's corporate sales meeting
Yes.
t-shirts made.
We have to be able to. I gotta admit, if I'm going to keep an eye out for those bombers because they are pretty badass. I would legitimately wear one in public, unironically. That's how nice they are. Hi, Kristen. All right, so here comes Mike Enos. You might know him as one half of the Beverly Brothers from their short
Yep.
stint in WWF. And what's interesting is that later on Wayne Bloom is obviously in the proceedings as well. The other half of the Beverly Brothers. I haven't had Cookie Crisp in ages. This is a dessert, man.
It is tasty. It is good stuff.
But I mean, you don't eat this for breakfast. This is what you pull out like on a Saturday morning when your kids are like, "Can we have a special breakfast?" And yeah, look, Cookie Crisp, and then you go, "Yay!" But like Tuesday morning, you're packing the lunches. No, man. It's good though.
That's good. Coming to the ring, well, I guess in the ring now would be Nutri Rockney, ladies and gentlemen, who is energized by vitamins and minerals of Nutri-Grain cereal. He does look great.
Who's calling the match?
I would imagine Greg would, wouldn't
Greg's
he?
in the match. He's in the last. He's on the card.
Yeah. Oh, I see.
Vern? No, not Vern.
No, not Vern. Is there another one? I feel like there's an Eric that I'm missing.
All right, let's see how this goes between the total the terrible
Total the terrible.
Nutra Rockney.
Yeah, Nutri
Rockney. Rockney.
I'm going to do this one for the Gipper.
It's a nice hip toss though. Very old school. Oh, there we go. Finally, Nutra Rockney getting some offense in. Hip toss, body slam, basically echoing the offense that Total the Terrible just put in. Nice drop kick, and Total the Terrible begs off. Remember why they used to call it Total Cereal, right? Because it had 100% of all your daily nutrient requirements, right?
Which they later found out was not necessary.
Was it necessary to have 100%? Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Back in the corner, back body drop. Get him in back in the corner. Some big forearms across the chest. Nutra Rockney flips him over again. Staying right on him. Whips into the ropes. And a big clothesline. Takes him down. Covers. Kicks out at 2, John.
2.9.
Wasn't quite. I'd say a 2.7 maybe.
It's not every day that you and I watch wrestling together. I'm going to get the 2.9s in.
There's a big walking power slam. And he kicks out at 2 again. Total the terrible. Clearly not that terrible.
Depends on the definition of terrible.
Goes for a cover again. And Total the Terrible kicks out again, unable to put him away.
Crowd
is into it. Another drop kick.
Keeps him unbalanced. Smart play.
Exactly. Keeps him off his feet. He's staggered. The human game of chess. Big body slam, body drop. And he got the pin.
Got it. Big win for Nutra Rockney there. You know, coming off a bit of a, it's come off a bit of a slow start to his career. Now, we didn't see a lot out of him early, over in the Chicago Midlands area, but I think Minneapolis might be his new home moving forward.
Look, obviously, he has the crowd support behind him. Nutra Rockney. Interesting how he got all this offense in. Just, you know, he struggled a bit at first, but then at the end got all his offense in. It's almost as if they wanted to Frankenberry Total the Terrible. Thank you.
Going right into a backstage segment here. Again, they did for being a sales, for being a sales conference, there's a lot of production that they put into this. I don't know if this was closed circuit television that they passed around the company after it happened, but they really got their money's worth from what AWA brought to the table.
I mean, there's nothing much you can say, really. It's well lit. The production is completely okay for the time. You know, they had their hard cam. They have either 1 or 2 guys running around the ring. This was, for what it is, it goes a bit above and beyond.
It's a true show.
I love this. Corporate pep talks in a wrestling show. I think this is what we need. I think this is what we've been missing, John. This might be our pitch for our new indie promotion, John. Could you imagine? Basically every time we have a show, it's like one big advertisement for a product, and then we have the executives and their staff come. Plus, you get the audience in, and you have like these rah-rah speeches in between. That'd be fantastic.
I think it's a business model that not a lot of people are attacking right now for good reason, but it just needs a couple twists or two. And you and I can think about all the products that we could pimp out to the American people through wrestling.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, if wrestling can get people to drink White Claw unironically, imagine what we could do with some real quality stuff.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we could bring back members only jackets, where the only way to get a jacket is to be at a wrestling show that was called members only one night stand. For instance. Yeah. Right. It would be perfect. Then you get the guy up there from Boscov's or wherever, talking about, the quarter and how the market's dead, but it would still be a good event for the people that showed up.
As Christian points out, these corporate pep talks are a little long in the tooth, though. But then again, right? I mean, this wasn't intended for a viewing audience. Like this was designed. This was designed as a corporate event. This was for the staff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think, but that's kind of what makes it. That's what makes it nice. Is the fact that they've again they've committed so many resources to, like, they're bringing in a wrestling AWA, and they're committing to them and saying, like, we're only going to do this for an hour, but for this hour we're game for anything and everything that you want to do, up to and including these 10-minute presentations in between, talking about sales growth numbers and new flavors and new coupons that they have coming out, and really kind of selling the fact to the sales team that, hey, we're all in this together, and we're going to go out there and we're going to kick some ass the way these guys do in the ring. And I just think it's a perfect synergy, if I can use that word. It's a perfect
we're
synergy
in a corporate environment
for everybody
tonight.
involved.
You can use synergy. You can use paradigm shift. Mm-hmm. You can use deep integration.
Yeah.
I like me some deep integration.
I'm sure you do, pal. I do not know who this fella is, who is talking.
He looks like a younger, handsome Don Knotts.
That's fair.
Right?
That's fair. Put him in a little cap. I think you're right. I think you're spot on with that. He does like to use the war metaphors a lot. He looks at the breakfast cereal landscape is really one that is going to be one in the trenches.
Right.
And I think that he's got some fighters on his side. Looking at this crowd and the way that they're responding to the people in the ring, to me, he's got some real warriors on his side. Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it was extremely competitive. Like the cold breakfast cereal market, 70s, 80s, into the 90s, it was really, really competitive. Like they had commercials on TV all the time. And especially, everything that was geared towards kids. The commercials, they all had these colorful mascots. The commercials, they were 30 seconds, but every commercial, there was like an adventure. There was like something happening to these cartoon characters. They were going towards some type of objective, or there was a mountain climber that needed rescue, or Tony the Tiger helped this one girl, show these bullies that she could whitewater raft. There was always something happening, and it was really, really competitive. So I'm not so, like, you're talking about the language that they're using, but that was really it. They were trying to eat each other.
And then he walks off with his hand. I mean, again, you can tell that they're buying in. Everything that you're saying is true. Because they were the hook, line, and sinker. They're all about making sure that Kellogg's walks away #1 brand for breakfast cereal.
Absolutely. So we are about to start the second match at 29:50. If you guys are jumping in, or perhaps like Carlos had a little issue with your network, we have Hondo the Haymaker, also known as Wayne Bloom, AWA stalwart, and he's tossing Honey Nut Cheerios into the crowd and being completely oblivious to allergies, John. Only got the prize. Did you see he pulled out the prize?
He did. He let everybody know that all the good prizes come from the Total brand.
So this is Derek Dukes, who's all fired up. I love how, I don't know if you guys picked it up because I was talking a bit, but Wayne Bloom or Hondo, why did they pick that anyway? Hondo, when he was up on the apron with the box of cereal, he held up the Honey Nut Cheerios and said, "We're more nutritious," which is fantastic.
I'm impressed by how much cereal they actually have at this event.
Yeah.
You know, like there's a lot of boxes being thrown around. There's a lot of stuff. You know, we saw it early, but even now, it seems like the crowd has little boxes of fun size that they're throwing in the ring. The heels are coming out with it. Yeah, everything about this.
They sent an intern to get the General Mills stuff?
I would imagine so. You know what I mean? I would imagine that the CEO didn't go out and
they sent the interns in. When the interns came back, they razzed the interns like, "Oh, what are you doing? Boo!"
Boo. They had to walk through the crowd with everything.
Here we go.
I see Wayne Bloom kind of cleaning up the ring before they get started here.
Safety first, man.
Safety first. Got to wrestle comfortable.
You got to lock up and into an arm bar right there. A bit of a hammer lock. And Mr. Opportunity flips him over with an arm drag. Wayne Bloom or Hondo. Why Hondo? Is there something I'm missing?
I'm not 100% sure. Other than it's Honey Nut Cheerio, so Honey Nut.
Oh my God.
Hondo, like kind of works.
That's probably it.
I think they missed the mark though, because this dude, Wayne Bloom, is apple jacked.
There we go with the proper arm hammer lock on. I just want to call him Derek Dukes. Oh, nice drop toe hold. He's back up. Just get off me, wuss. That's some trash talking right there. Wayne Bloom complaining that Derek Dukes is using the trunks to get an advantage. Just like a General Mills stiff would do. Complain, complaining that the other guy is using underhanded tactics. Jesus. There we go with a standing headlock. Twisting it in. Tries to run out of it, but Hondo holds on to it. He's just cranking that in. You can hear it from here, John. He's just wrenching that head. The head, you can hear it's going snap, crackle, pop all the way over here.
Solid. It's good, and it's good cell work by Dukes too. It's not something that you see nowadays with the old headlock.
Unless you're watching a Baron Corbin match. Thank you very much. Drags him to the mat while I pour on some rice checks. I think I need a bit of a palate cleanser after all that sugary cereal.
Rice checks is a good one. A lot of different flavors with the rice checks. You got your cinnamon, your apple. You know, they make a raspberry now. I don't know if they have that in Canada yet. Yeah.
I've seen a blueberry one.
Ooh.
Yeah. We're big on blueberries up here.
I feel like you'd see a lot of maple flavored cereals up by you.
But then at the same time, we're very keen to the maple, right? So when it's too phony, we don't buy into it. When it tastes too artificial. Anyway, in the meantime, our opportunity guy is mounting a comeback, flying crossbody covers, and Hondo kicks out at 2. That took a lot out of opportunity there, John. He struggled getting back up. Oh no, an obvious choke. He's going cuckoo.
He's right by the rope. If you're getting choked out, just put your arm underneath of it, break the hold.
There you go.
Mr. Opportunity isn't taking the opportunities available to
It's
him.
as if he's yeah, exactly. It's as if he's just starting up. He doesn't have all the necessary tricks yet.
He's got to be careful. He's going to find himself honey smacked.
Yes. Yes. Oh! He no-sells the cereal box shot. He's hulking up. Kicks to the midsection. Whipped into the corner. And a back body drop. Hondo's on the mat. Opportunity is on top. Oh, was that a super kick?
A little side kick to the chin.
Going up top. Flying off with a shoulder tackle. Boom. That was a little rough, but gets the job done. It was magically delicious. Opportunity gets the win.
Mm-hmm. And it just goes to show you when you're training every day with a proper diet that Kellogg cereals provide you, any obstacle becomes just that much more easier to achieve.
Yep. That was a 9-minute match. That was not a 9-minute match. Really? Carlos in the chat says, we need a modern version of this with the New Day. The New Day with anything. They could do this with anything. Like they have, the WWE have a lot of sponsorships with candy bars these days, and that'd be fantastic, Skittles versus Smarties, stuff like that.
Nobody's wrestling Smarties. I mean, maybe an Airhead. They seem to be kind of working the market a little bit.
And there's Colonel De Beers, who was the general of the Mills gang. Dr. K.
Dr. K on the way. Did you see the one fan just like lackadaisically just toss the box of cereal at the general? It's like, we all know those fans nowadays, the ones that throw their fingers up and they walk all the way to the top and they're tossing beers. It's nice to know that 30 years ago that their parents were tossing delicious Kellogg cereal at these wrestlers as well. Time never changes.
Just a few years later, their children would be at WCW events throwing garbage at the NWO.
It's very true.
Well, there's a lot of posturing here. Hey, goes up to the ropes. The general's having none of Dr. K's forearms to the chest. Starts twisting the arm, some back and forth, and a chop takes him down. Got him in a wrist lock. Commentary's pretty. It's pretty stupid too. It's fantastic. Still holding the wrist lock does Wahoo Dr. K. Staying in control of the general. Oh, and a big boot rake across the face.
When you eat as much cereal, as Dr. K does, and you're grasping a spoon with both hands for that long, your grip strength over time really becomes something to brag about. And it's really paying dividends in this match against the general.
Excellent insight. Thank you, John. Right here, the general has Dr. K in a side headlock. Oh, then Dr. K starts to fight out, but the general with the knee to the midsection and he corn pops him in the mouth, John.
Lays him right out.
Takes him all the way down. Boots to the face. Kristen Ashley in the chat would like to point out that she imagines that drinking that much cereal can cause, drinking that much milk can cause some gastrointestinal issues after a while as well. Oh, and it rakes his face across the top rope. That's gotta burn. Dr. K starts fighting back, but a dastardly thumb to the eye. And the general stays in control, but not for long. K starts fighting back with open hand chops and a tomahawk chop right on the mouth, it would seem. Two turnbuckle shots and the general is down, John.
The ref breaking it up. Oh, falls outside. I think that was on purpose, but I can't tell.
You know, a ring veteran like the general would know that sometimes you just have to take a step back. You know, you can't gorge yourself on too much action too quickly. You got to take a moment to step back and just let things settle.
You know what I like about this heavyweight matchup between Dr. K and the General is the fact that both of them were whole milk users in their morning cereals. Yeah. Yeah, well, nowadays with the 2% and the skim and the health conscious that everybody is, you forget that whole milk does a body good, helps to grow the bones, your strength, things of that nature, and we're seeing that represented in the ring right now.
Again, fantastic insights, John. I gotta tell you, John, this is not good. I kind of like the two others. The two other matches were fine. They were short and they didn't overstay their welcome. But is this a ref bump? We got a ref bump.
That's a ref bump.
God. Clearly a dirty tricks.
There's a lot of cereal on the floor.
I mean, they had to shove it somewhere, right?
That ballroom.
Oh,
General going into the box.
Is he gonna get the prize inside?
Might have gotten the prize.
Oh, and he just beamed Dr. K with the prize. What could have been the prize? A car that you assembled together, a decoder ring, maybe a full a close up of Star Trek stars from the Star Trek movie.
I think it was a press-on tattoo.
You could tell Dr. K has nothing. Wait a second. Who's this? It's sales and marketing. Sales and marketing.
Classic S&M.
Coming to the rescue. Per usual. When things go sour in the company, who comes to the rescue? Your sales and marketing guys. And a big chop takes down the general, and Dr. K wins a tainted match, John.
Well, like the speaker said before, this is war. And in war, there are no rules, right? And you get there and you have to get the job done. And Kellogg's right now is finding a way. Team Kellogg's is finding a way to get the job done against General Mills. So, Warren, I find it to be refreshing to see a face team that we pose to be safe, faces, do a little underhand work to make sure that their guy wins.
So basically, if they run into a General Mills rep in the street, the Kellogg's people are being told right now, feel free to mug them, steal their Rolodex.
Throw a box of cereal at them.
He's been demoted, see? He's like, hey, wait a minute. I went to war for that title. That's good stuff. That's commitment to the gimmick.
It is really good. So 2/3 into the pay-per-view so far, Warren, do you feel like you got your money's worth?
Listen, for the time being, look, had I known that there would be so much expenditure of cereal, I would have prepped myself better because I don't think psychologically I was ready. That's fantastic. WWE, they cutting costs, they don't have the pyro anymore. Well, bring some cereal. I mean, let's go all in, not just the New Day. Have everyone just come in under showers of honey bunches of oats, or
see like a fruity pebble cascade as you walk out. Think like Christian's opening with the dropping of the lighting, but instead, you're looking at just disc after disc of Cookie Crisp
that would
coming
be
down.
Fantastic. The synergies would be immense.
They would be synergistic.
I was complaining earlier about Golden Grams getting soggy real fast, but Chex cereal has nothing on them.
It's holding up. It's holding up well.
Paste.
Yeah, you got to be careful with that. That's why I like just a word of the wise. I like the strawberry mini shredded wheats.
Oh yeah, strawberry, eh?
And then you just bypass the milk altogether and you just eat them as a snack.
Right, which is kind of how I feel about Cookie Crisp right now. Like Cookie Crisp is a dessert. Like I should have had that after dinner. That'd be fantastic. Even add a little whipped cream on it. It's not cereal. Let's stop kidding ourselves.
No, it's not. And it's certainly not cereal. No, it's like when you eat a bowl of the peanut butter cup cereal, right? The Reese's Puffs, right? You're not eating that for a balanced, nutritious breakfast. You're eating that because it's delicious and it tastes like chocolate and peanut butter.
And you eat it. Yeah. You eat it because your parents are not entirely behind the idea and you like it. And then when you're an adult, you're like, fuck you, mom and dad. I'm grown up now.
You know what they've changed the recipe on, which I've been rather distraught about over the last decade or so. There was a Rice Krispie treat cereal.
Okay. Like actually
where
with marshmallow and everything?
Yeah, so that's the interesting thing. So yes, there were clumps, there were chunks, if you will, of Rice Krispie and marshmallow clusters. And it was the best cereal you've ever had, and it ripped your mouth apart. Then they took it away, and when they reintroduced it, it was Rice Krispies with little marshmallow, like Lucky Charm-esque little marshmallows. Okay, and it ruined it. Like you talk about just total disappointment in your early 30s when you think you're getting one thing from your childhood, and you get nonsense instead. And it's just it's like WWE nowadays.
Essentially.
Yeah, we talked over that last guy because all he did was talk about cereal for 10 minutes.
Well, there you go. As opposed to us.
It's a fair point. But we're back in the ring.
So that's Greg Gagne, and that's that is Tom Zank. You're right. Yep,
that's Tom Zank. Definitely Tom Zank. And they're going up against the Mills twins, or the Mills brothers, who I'm blanking on who they are.
Tanaka and Paul Diamond.
That's right. That's right. Paul Diamond. Right.
Pat Tanaka and Paul Diamond,
We've said their names earlier.
legitimately a fantastic tag team.
Yep.
And wrestled
Very good.
in WCW, ECW. That's some fantastic matches in ECW, actually.
Right. And I give a lot of credit to that team for wrestling in bare feet with all those illegal objects on
Correct.
the
You
mat.
know those. No,
Not
you
easy.
know those Honey Nut Cheerios, man, stiff as hell.
Yep. I mean, this is a damn near death
Yeah,
match
you
at this
got
point.
that right. And a big hip toss by Zank, arm drag, and another arm drag.
Crowd's into it.
So this is the sales and marketing team. So is one guy sales and the other guy marketing? Is basically
Yes.
who's S and who's M?
I believe Gagne to be S. I think Zank is M. I think, and the only reason I think that is because Eric Gagne was leading the charge to the ring, and so that's why I place him that way.
There's Diamond going at Greg. Gagne outside, tosses him outside. Oh no!
The General's back.
Mills is there. Got a cheap shot in. Boo! How will the sales and marketing come back? You know, I kind of hope they have a tag team finisher, and it's and he's eating cereal. What is he eating?
That would be the new Nut and Honey-O's Crunch.
So that gave him the energy to get back into the ring.
Yeah, but that's all it seemed to do. Terrible camera shot on that foot swipe, on the boot swipe.
Good.
That wasn't good.
Exposed it.
Yep. I do appreciate them ending it with a tag team. Yeah, this is how old school wrestling used to do it. Was that you'd get the tag team at the end because you were expecting a hot finish.
Yes.
It reminds me of how tag teams used to be looked at in the wrestling industry.
Absolutely. Much differently than what mainstream wrestling considers them anyway. Well, AEW has been making a lot of promises. They've been delivering on them. I do think that it's right now the best place to watch tag team wrestling. Because WWE right now, no. Never.
No, but if you are looking for an alternative to AEW, feel free to watch stardom-world.com for all of the Goddesses of Stardom champion matches. #Watch Stardom.
The S&M team in trouble.
You don't have to say anything more than that.
Yeah, you just let that roll. You just let it live all by itself.
Yep. Well, it is nice to know that, as a sales and marketing person in the audience, that there are going to be trials and tribulations over the course of a calendar year. And you're expecting Q2 to be a little bit better than what happened, but you can find yourself in the headlocks of life.
Right.
But you can also figure out a way to counter that and find yourself in a better position with a tag team partner. So I appreciate the in-ring storytelling as much as the work rate we're seeing in the ring, Warren.
And a big flying crossbody gets the cover, but I think it's Tanaka, right? That's in. Yeah, Tanaka kicked out of that one.
Correct.
One of the Mills brothers.
Mills brothers, no selling. Oh, both of them go down hard.
So the referee starts the 10 count. Will this match end with a double count out, John?
I don't think we've seen the Mills team win yet. This might be the upset in the making, which would be like the worst sales and marketing conference of all time.
Tom Zen comes in and he's a house of fire. Taking down the Mills brothers. Atomic drop. Another kick. Whipped into each corner. Go the Mills brothers.
Double drop kick outside to Diamond.
There you go. Double back body drop. I'm kind of hoping that the sales and marketing team have a double team finisher and it's called something like the brand merger or we're not going to find out. We're not going to find out.
I think it was one with a cross body drop.
There were a lot of cross bodies throughout this entire event, John. John, I'd like to point out this is something you don't see every day. All the baby faces won.
Yeah. Again, they like to send the crowd home happy, and I think they've succeeded at that this time around at in your place.
Your place.
Or in your space, excuse me.
Oh, man.
There are winners. The Z-Man and the G-Man taking home the In Your Space trophy.
There you go. Look at that trophy. Pretty sure Greg.
Solid work by Larry Nelson.
Pretty good. Pretty sure Vern kept the trophy and went to return it after the event. he
cashed it to the pawn shop.
He just brought it back to it. He had the receipt. He just he took his pocket knife out and he took the little plaque off. He's like, there you go. I want my money back. Well, that was something. Honestly, it wasn't that bad. Like the matches were short. They didn't overstay their welcome, and they did exactly what they needed to do.
Yeah, I think it just goes and speaks to the. So again, you just don't see wrestling in this type of format ever.
No.
Right. And when you talk about territories, to have something like the AWA and then Kellogg's headquarters so close to one another, where and I don't know if AWA reached out to them like, hey, let's come in and do this, or Kellogg's reached out to them and said, we want you. But there was more just punch behind wrestling and these these corporations into working together. Yeah, it does. I don't know if we'll ever get back to that, to the level that we've seen today, and it's a shame because something like that it's a hidden gem for a reason.
Yes, and it honestly, just the fact that no one really knew about this, and that it just got dug up, it kind of makes you wonder what else exists out there.
Oh yeah.
That if this was successful enough for for Vern Gagne to make a buck. For sure, he tried to do it with someone else. For sure. So I would love there to be a couple of other AWA corporate events like this, which were just. This is a time capsule in and about itself. It was fantastic, and you know what? It was fun, and it was fun also. Earlier today when I was just sitting around and eating, I popped up. I went on YouTube and I started watching old cereal commercials from the 80s and
yep.
It was just brought back a lot of, I guess, it's corny to say memories, but that's what it is. Just like this, man, the cereal game was so big back then.
It's huge. It was huge. And to your point, Warren, again, if we are searching the interwebs and there ends up being like a Kenny Rogers chicken convention in 1991 where the NWA put on 3 matches, I want to see that. So I'm with you in the sense that I hope more of these are dug up over time. Maybe Jerry the King Lawler sitting on a Memphis tape, at some local barbecue house, or something. Like I want that as well, because these are fantastic.
I mean, your imagination just kicks in, and you're like, man, what else? What other little tidbits of wrestling history are we not aware of?
Exactly
John,
right.
thank you so much for hanging out and watching this and enjoying some cold, delicious breakfast cereal along the way. Why don't you tell everyone what you've got up over the next couple of days and where everyone can find you?
Yeah, I appreciate that. You can find me on Twitter at Big Paws on a Pup, as well as at NPA Podcast. And my podcast, No Particular Angle, drops every Wednesday. And it's something where we try to go all over the place and talk about different topics within wrestling. And not just topic specific, but different promotions, different parts of the world, storylines, things like that. We keep the episodes focused on one thing at a time, and we like to pop around to try to hit as many different things. So if you're somebody who's educated in the wrestling landscape, it's a show for you. If you're someone who wants to know more about things that you may not, it's a show for you. And if it's something where you like to come on and tell me that I'm wrong, it's definitely a show for you. So feel free to check out No Particular Angle on Wednesdays. What's coming up on it? We got a couple different things planned, but next weekend, now that the 5-Star Grand Prix is coming to an end in Stardom, I will have a Netflix level binge of 7 or 8 hours worth of the entire 5-Star Grand Prix dropping once the finals have concluded later this week. Feel free to check that out if it's something where Stardom interests you, or you're just a really, really big fan of podcasts.
NPA and chill, basically, baby. That's
That's right.
right. So, thank you, John. And of course, if you guys, and if you guys are not educated on wrestling and you just want to sit around and listen to stupid rants, well, you know where to find me every Thursday right here on youtube.com/Mr. Warren Hayes and or on Twitter, of course, at Mr. Warren Hayes. But ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you all for popping in this evening or listening to this on your own time at your convenience. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.